is Monday, August the 7th, 2023. I am James. You are you. We are here for another night in the trenches. It is the third edition of Mailbag Monday, where you, our lovely and valued audience and fan base of the at-home world, have sent in questions, curiosities, inquiries, discussion topics, this, that, and so much more. As the theme song was playing, I thought to myself, well, outside of detailing what tonight's episode is going to be all about, wonder what else I'll talk about in my intro. And then as I looked at the calendar so I could provide the date, as I do every Monday, it occurred to me that it has been 3 years since we made the official switch to Twitch. So I am officially decreeing this is a very special episode of what? The show that won't go away. There are so many kids here tonight, and they love it. They don't like it. They love it. What's that, kids? You want to say something else to the fans? What's that, kids? 3 years we're celebrating the switch to Twitch with a live studio audience of children. For the first time ever, it's an all ages edition of the At Home with James show. In addition to 3 years of Twitch, I'd like to remind you that last week we made another very grandiose announcement that after I pledged a number of weeks ago, we're officially making it official. At Home, live and in person to this October. When? Where? Stay tuned for more information. But that is months and months away. Tonight, we get into the nitty-gritty and we welcome our Mailbag Monday panel. Let us please welcome Annabelle Agnew, Marilyn T, and Dimitri Kyres. Now, I want to immediately begin with you, Dimitri. You were not slated, nor were you promoted to be here tonight. It was supposed to be Dave in the control center, and he touched base with us, I think, at about 10 after 8, pleading with you to take over tonight because he alleges to have a work emergency. Oh, easy. Ooh, easy.
Oh,
There's kids in the audience tonight.
I just realized I was muted. All that was censored.
All right, well, let's take that. Let me go around the horn. Then we're going to take it from the top all the way at the bottom. Annabelle, welcome back to the show. Last time you were here, we were basically previewing summer, and I'm happy to say that we've been enjoying a bit of a fake fall here and there the past week or so. How does it feel to know that it appears that you're embracing fake fall with that flannel top?
Well, I have no choice. I have to embrace fake fall, I guess. I don't like it though, James. I preferred the hot weekend that we had, and I hope we have some more before fall really hits.
All right, not me. Let's go over to Marilyn. You always have a very topically appropriate background. Marilyn, welcome back to the show. How are you feeling this evening?
Happy to be here.
Now, short and sweet, Marilyn. Dimitri, we're going to go back to you. As I mentioned, while you were muted, you were not scheduled or promoted to be here. How do you feel being here tonight?
Not good. I had plans tonight. I was in the middle of drilling, putting holes and anchors into drywall to put up a new bathroom sink mirror and cabinet. And then I get a message from Dirty Dave saying I've got a work emergency.
Mm-hmm.
Which we all know what that means.
What does that mean?
It means he found a coupon for Subway.
Oh, easy.
It means he found a Mandy. It's funny because I've done that joke twice now. That means
Yeah, this might be the first time that we ever had to do a retake on a joke. But I will say this, I think it's a blessing in disguise, a silver lining, because the past month or so, while Dave has been in the control center, his internet connection drops usually at about the 20-minute mark. So every episode has been, I guess you could say, saved in 2 parts, but the first part doesn't have a lot of content.
Yeah,
in our on-demand library, all the Dave episodes are 2-parters.
Yeah, well, when you get me on tech, you get quality, and when you get Dave on tech, you get Diarrhea Dave. And when when Diarrhea Dave is on tech, it takes 2 flushes, I guess.
Oh, easy. There's kids in the crowd tonight.
Yeah. Hey, kids, how much do you hate Diarrhea Dave? That's what I thought. Dave could go fuck himself tonight.
Oh, easy. It's a kids show tonight. Oh, well, the kids love it. Kids do enjoy cursing. It's Mailbag Monday. We received a plethora of questions, inquiries, topics. We're going to begin with something that I think is a very, very intriguing discussion topic. Brands that should make a comeback in 2023. Now, are there any brands that have been discontinued, items that we miss, that we long for, that we put our hands together and pray to Jesus Christ when we say our prayers at night, that we just hope would come back? Now, I'm going to throw one out right away. Dunkin' Donuts in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
I miss the days when Canada ran on Dunkin'.
We don't have Dunkin' anymore?
There are no Dunkin' Donuts in Canada, period. I think the last Dunkin' Donuts was in Place Ville-Marie.
Was there a Dunkin' at Lino Gru? I feel like there was.
There used to definitely be one at Barry Ucam.
And Place Ville-Marie.
Right.
And then they changed the name to just Dunkin'.
Yeah. Well, I believe they're just referred to as Dunkins everywhere now, as in Dunkin'.
Whoa.
Marilyn, any fond memories of Dunkin' Donuts?
No.
Wait.
Except I love those colors. I love their colors.
Yes.
The orange and was it brown? Like A&W?
It's like an
pink?
orange and pinkish. I want
pink.
to,
Okay,
it's not often I leave my desk, my set. I'm going to come back with a collector's item in just a moment.
Please.
Whoa.
Yes, I want for you guys to keep talking about Dunkin' Donuts. Annabelle, fond memories of Dunkin' Donuts?
None. I didn't like their coffee, and I'm not a big donut fan. So that's why I didn't notice that they were gone, because I never go to Dunkin'. Never.
You know what
Dimitri, any fond memories?
Do I have any fond memories of Dunkin'?
Yes.
I don't have any fond memories of Dunkin', but
I can't believe this.
yeah, I just never. I missed it. When I got into coffee, I beelined it straight into third wave coffee, and I didn't really drink a whole lot of.
Did we have some that had the Baskin Robbins here together, or no? That was not a Canada thing.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I believe so, because for a short period of time there was also the Tim Hortons that had Cold Stone in there as well, specifically the one in the old Montreal Forum, and now neither exists. Now, I don't want to spend this entire time talking about. Look, I could do an hour on memories of Dunkin' Donuts. Marilyn, as a fellow collector of interesting items, you may enjoy this vintage.
Ooh.
Now, this is when
nice.
you get a cup of coffee that was not big. This is not a big cup. Like this is the scale of coffee that you're getting.
Yeah, but they would stack really nicely, those cups. I remember behind the counter there was a nice stack of them.
Yeah, and this is the these are the colors right here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, do any of us have things that we're fond of that are gone? Now, I threw Dunkin' Donuts in there. People are often miss Zellers, even though the Bay tries to pretend they've reopened Zellers. They've not reopened Zellers. They're fake Zellers.
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah.
I have a few, yeah.
Okay, go for it, Dimitri.
Toys R Us.
Well, there's still a Toys R Us right near Nemmer Metro.
Well, then I take it back. I don't miss it.
All right.
Yeah, there's one at Angry Nail.
I thought they all went out of business.
I believe.
No.
I want to try to get this right. I think that people could open their own individual franchise stores, but I don't think there are many left in Quebec or even Canada.
Damn. Wow, I love them.
Maybe I'm getting that wrong. In fact, I don't know if they exist in the States anymore. They might still exist in Canada.
Whoa.
Dimitri, why don't you do some research on this now while we go to Annabelle?
Let's
now,
do
Annabelle,
this.
any brands that you miss?
I'm going to stop writing my Dave hate mail real quick.
Yes.
Well, on the storefront, I really loved it when Target came to Canada, and I was really sad at how quickly it left.
So briefly.
It was so brief, but it was a great department store. I
Now,
really
did
enjoyed
they
it.
replace all of the buildings that previously had housed Zellers?
I think so. I think that they had decided that as a
I don't think they
tactic.
lasted more than, was it, I want to say maybe 2 years at the most?
I think less than 2 years. I think it was about a year and a half. Yeah.
Okay, what else do you miss?
So I was in a vintage shop the other day and I stumbled across a K-Way bag, and I know that K-Way still kind of exists, but I'm remembering in the 80s with the K-Way, you'd have it and you could fold it up into like a little pouch and you could carry it like a little I miss that. I think K-Way was a pretty awesome little coat.
All right.
I miss the K-Way.
Any others?
Those are the first two that came to mind. I'll keep thinking though.
Okay. Yeah. Marilyn, how about you? Brands that no longer exist that you miss?
Okay. Well, I'm going to segue into this after. For me, it's mostly food that have disappeared. But because Annabelle just mentioned K-Way, it reminds me of those kangaroo sneakers that have a little pocket. I was really into those, you know, on the side you'd have little zippers, or you could have a little pocket on the tongue of the. So that is a brand that I'd like to see again. And for me, it's mostly food. Like I was really into like a one Trader Joe cracker that people that went to the state knew and would bring me back. And I was really into, and you might enjoy this, James, if we find it again. It's like a chocolate. It's got like coffee in the middle, like liquid chocolate. It's like a Ferrero thing that you can only get in Italy, but they only have it like certain months of the year. So I mean, I haven't found it, like, because sometimes, you know, I figured at Milano there's a few shops, but I haven't seen it in a really long time.
That sounds like a pretty decadent treat. Any other foods that you miss? Because the food brands is a very interesting one.
Yes, well, I mean, I want to go to this, but you know, okay, we had a schedule this weekend, and you heard about this amazing crisp sketch, and I'm really into chips. And it's funny, we joked about this, like Brannigan's, like roast beef and mustard, but there are types of chips like this, and there was a British brand called Tyrell's that I can't find right now these days back here. But I used to see it around.
Try the Atwater Market, because there's one shop.
I feel like there.
Yeah, once you said Tyrell, the market flashed in my brain.
But I don't know if they ever had, my favorite kind was called Sunday roast. Like it really tasted like chicken and veggies. You know, I really, and I haven't seen it in a long time. So, but maybe I will go around looking for it. And now that we've opened it up to all your audience members who know me, please let me know if you spot those chips.
Yes, please do. On the front of chips, I'm going to say the dill pickle Doritos. They have not had those in a long time. I miss those.
Marilyn, could you just shout your address to everybody and
give us your address
just so we know where to send them?
Yeah. Dimitri, any information, anything that you found?
Yeah, I found out that all of them closed in the U.S. and the U.K.
There you go.
And there's 107 stores left in Canada.
Okay, so my assumption was the correct one upon further thought. It was that they closed in it seems interesting that they would close in the States.
They closed in the States and the UK, but then they said something interesting where they sold the rest of the company off to third parties. So I don't think it's the OG Toys R Us owners who own those 107 locations in Canada.
Right. Just franchisees, perhaps.
I guess so, yeah. But anyway, they still exist, which is interesting.
Okay, any other dead brands we want in to get right under the wire before we move on to the next topic, because we got a bunch.
What about Source? The Source
still exists.
The Source still exists?
Yep. There's one in the Alexis Neon. There's one
on Wellington.
Yeah, it's the new. What is that? The replacement of Radio Shack? I never understood. Is that what happened? Like,
I think the Source was essentially Canadian Radio
Oh,
Shack.
I know what I want to bring back. What was that called in English? Distribution au consommateur.
Wow,
The
I have
catalog.
no idea what that
is
is.
that?
Yeah, the catalog shop, the shop with that had a catalog, and you ordered stuff from it, and they'd go in the back, and inside the store there was nothing. It was like a mail to order, like I don't know. You don't remember this?
No, I have no recollection of this, but I love the sound of it.
Yeah, I might go away at a moment. I have a catalog here somewhere as a collector's item.
It got guys in it?
What?
Does it have men in it? The catalog, does it have men? Yeah, it said mail to order.
Oh.
Easy, Dimitri. This is a kid's show tonight. I know that you're frustrated. There we go. Kids love men. Kids love men. Move on to our next topic here. This is probably going to be divisive. Your least favorite area of Montreal.
Ooh.
Well, for me, it's very easy. It's like the East End when you go out of town, all that like oil land.
Yeah, Tétraville.
Like RDP? Is that what you're talking about?
Like past
it's actually
RDP.
lower. I think it's called, it's mostly like Pointe-aux-Trembles or Tétroville, or I'm not sure.
Yeah, two thumbs down.
Yeah, it's so sad because it's right on the island. That wasn't really well thought out. Like, we're always going to be stuck with that there. It's an eyesore. I like the whole kind of Blade Runner look maybe at night when you pass by there, but I don't like what's there. And, nobody can really live close to that. That's sad.
Yeah, I had a friend whose main metro stop was Honoré-Beaugrand, and then he had to take a bus from there. So he was out right near the refineries. Yeah, I think it's Tétraville. Just it should be Toiletteville. Dimitri, how about you?
It's hard because at first I was gonna say downtown, like St. Catherine Street downtown. But then the more I thought about it, I'm like, well, they got some fun stuff, and I do sometimes like walking around. It's mainly just the people that piss me off. Honestly, I'd probably say everything that's around the Olympic Stadium, including the Olympic Stadium.
Whoa. Okay, so the P9 area.
Yes.
Going east.
It's a dead zone, and there's nothing going on there. At least Hochelaga, I can expect to get robbed or punched in the mouth for no reason.
Oh, now Marilyn might have something to say about this. Because Marilyn,
I really strongly disagree.
Oh, is this your beef of the night?
Well,
Marilyn?
maybe not strongly.
Wait, hold on. We have beef of the night tonight?
I'm on tech. Of course we got beef of the night.
Marilyn, is this your beef of the night?
Why not?
Whoa, are you... Marilyn, while I find the button, I want you to think about this. Explain how beef of the night works, James.
The beef of the night is when you take absolute umbrage and offense with an opinion that someone has made and you want to challenge it.
You only get one.
It's basically
you have one argument for a challenge, or you have
you have one beef of the night. It's basically you're personally vetoing someone's opinion.
Well, no, I will let that one go because I've only been I don't know the East End that well, so I'm not gonna go and just give all my honor to it. But I'll let it go. But I don't agree.
Yeah. Well, Marilyn, you currently live in Oma.
Yeah.
There you go. So Dimitri, you better watch yourself.
Yeah.
Because that beef might get fed you. Easy, Dimitri. Your mic is hot.
Oh yeah, sorry. I put my mic in Hochelaga Maisonneuve.
We might bring it back at the end of the night. Right now, I'll see. But if we have some time, I'm gonna prepare. This
hold on. Hey, I got another microphone live from Hochelaga Maisonneuve right now. I heard there's a party going on. Let's go live right now.
Actually, that is one of the best party spot there was. There's what was called a secret forest just after VO Street, which they've taken over, but people would have forest party. And this is a sweet spot. If you look up forest parties in Hochelaga, it was a thing.
Forest parties, eh? Hold on a second.
Nerd alert!
Annabelle, least favorite areas of Montreal, or your personal least favorite?
So I can't really comment on the East. I'm never there, so I don't have a strong opinion on it. I will say that I'm not a big fan of NDG. I live there.
Nice.
I had a store there and I'm not a fan.
Well, NDG is very boring.
It's so dull and boring. The worst people live there.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I'm 100% in agreement.
Yeah, and why is
Right?
that,
Like,
Dimitri?
There's one particular person I got umbrage with over there, and let's just say
that
he's
person left tonight, right?
he's currently decimating a toilet as we speak.
Of course, we're talking about Dave. So you think it's dull, Annabelle? Why are the people bad?
Oh, when I first had my daughter, we lived out there, and I found it really hard to relate to the people that also had kids there. Now, in fairness, I did find a little group of friends, but there was a lot of nannies instead of parents at the parks,
Yeah,
and
a lot of old timers with walking sticks.
not a lot of diversity either, I want to say. It felt pretty white and pretty dull. A lot of stroller comparisons.
You've officially put NDG on blast. Now, I'm going to echo the sentiments of like the far east end of Montreal, but I think I'm just going to throw in the area of Boulevard Saint Laurent from, let's say, Sherbrooke until about Mount Royal. Just a cesspool.
Sherbrooke
Just
to Mount Royal. Yeah.
Yeah, on Saint Laurent, in between Sherbrooke and Mount Royal. I don't take a lot of pleasure being on those handful of blocks.
Yeah, those people are sick.
Oh. All right. Let's move on to our next topic. This one's probably going to be quick and easy. Burial, cremation, or other. Dimitri, let's go with you.
Burial, cremation,
or
other. Other? Yeah,
Other.
I try not to give this too much thought because
very morbid.
Because it's morbid and it spooks me out. But I'd like to maybe get turned into a tree.
How would you go about doing that?
You get put into a pod, James, and then the roots engulf you, and then your blood becomes the sap, and then your face becomes the bark.
You've gone with other.
I've selected other. You know.
All right, Marilyn.
Yeah.
Burial, cremation, or other.
Well, my end goal is the tree, but I've learned of a new method. It's cremation by water. So instead of being burned, you're being like liquefied. And there's only one place in Quebec that does this in Granby. I looked into this summer because there was a Fringe show about this, and I got curious. So
wait, so you get you get changed into like a smoothie or something?
No, you actually end up in like how do you say, like cremated, but it's just done with liquid instead. Like I can't really explain the process.
This is the secret ingredient in the orange julep.
Yeah, probably. But it's just better for the environment in the end. That's what they say. Anyways, we'll see, because it uses a bit less of energy and it comes up to the same result. So.
You become hydroelectricity.
Yeah, but at the end, I also want to be a tree. I thought that was the best thing. Like, be put in a little kind of like compostable box and you just become a tree.
Have some
I guess the upside of it being in Granby is whomever is taking carcasses there can stop off and get some food at Chez Ben Labeden.
And then they
which is a deep Granby cut. Now, what's that, Dimitri?
Yeah, and then they get too full and they slam into a tree and your limp body just goes tumbling off and then goes into one of the gondolas.
Gondolas? All right. Yeah. Annabelle, burial, cremation, or other?
What if you turn into a tree and then you kill someone because you're a tree?
What, like someone skis into you like Sonny Bono?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Just cremation.
Wait, what if?
What if?
Oh, okay. Guess that's that.
All right. Well, I'll just take other as well. I'm going to go cryogenically frozen.
You think they could fix you in the future?
What do you think they would do to fix me?
Put a brain in there.
Next topic, discuss your most and least enjoyable concert experience. Now, I have to say, I don't know if I've got a least enjoyable concert experience. I did go with a friend to see Anthrax out of pity because he had no one to go with, and it was a free ticket. And not a super fan of Anthrax. Their openers were Death Angel. So it was very loud. It was very loud. But in terms of interesting stories, I don't know if I have a least enjoyable. Annabelle, let's go to you.
I guess I saw Henry Rollins in Paris when I was 16, and it was just a very like loud and kind of violent concert. But I didn't hate it. I just stayed very much on the back wall because I didn't want to get thrown into the crowd.
Yep.
So I don't know if that qualifies. I can't think of anything.
Well, look, I mean,
bad,
we might not have any real qualifiers here. Marilyn, how about you? Least enjoyable concert experience?
Yeah, that also I can't really bring something back to memory. But one favorite was I got invited to be in one of those special corporate booths at like the Bell Center, but back in the day in the Forum to go see Les Rita Mitsuko, which is a really kind of like fun French kind of band, and I thought that was an enjoyable concert. And I also saw the Cranberries live, which I thought was kind of a nice concert.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Dimitri, least enjoyable concert experience?
I was with you. We were walking back home and we saw that guy. We saw this French band and this guy's ancient man who looks like he gets around on the little like moped, the little moped devices. And he just was like, I don't know how to even describe this guy. I just didn't understand a word he was saying.
Bellowing.
Yeah, like a real old school but Asian rocker, Quebecois rocker, and singing a bunch of songs in English, and it was a mess. The whole thing was a mess, but I was fascinated. It was like watching the Hindenburg crash. You just couldn't look away. It was so bad.
It was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? That was my favorite concert experience.
Favorite? That was my least favorite.
This is what I want you to do. When the show's done, Dimitri, I want you to find that clip you took.
Yeah.
Send it to me. Because he is a well-known Quebec singer, and I can't recall. Maybe Marilyn can give us a hand with this one, because Marilyn's got quite a reference point of Les Musiciens Chez Nous.
What was it for? Do you know what it was
Saint-Jean.
For? It was for
SNL.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
I'm very curious now. We'll see.
Yeah,
did any of you ever catch the bagpipe person who played on Saint Laurent du Lut for a few summers? Like
he played everywhere. He played everywhere.
I saw a bagpipe guy the other day in Verdun.
The redheaded man.
The same like very redhead guy. Anyways, I just want to say I admire the gusto of doing that, but it's kind of annoying. Like
it was. He would he do the Titanic song? I will always love. Not I will always love you. That's the Bodyguard. What's the Titanic song again? Celine Dion.
My heart will.
I think he used to do My Heart Will Go On.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It was not Fabio. He was not.
There's a guy that walks down Wellington, at least in front of my house, pretty much every day with an accordion, and he just walks and plays the accordion.
Yeah. Well, an accordion is better than
great
than bagpipes guy. Annabelle, do you have a favorite concert experience?
I have one more least favorite, and then I have two contenders for favorite.
All right.
Another least favorite, which I remembered, is I went to Vermont with some friends to see the Tragically Hip because they're not that popular in the States. But I didn't realize.
I wonder why.
And it was not a bad concert, but it was very cold because it was in the mountains, and I didn't acclimatize very well from the summer to the cold.
Okay, yeah.
Mountains.
So you went and saw the Hip.
I did. So that was cold and that's shitty. Two contenders. One was the B-52s. I saw the B-52s. It was such a fun concert.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. So much fun. And then I've seen Arcade Fire, and they always put on a good concert.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Dimitri, do you have a favorite?
No. I don't like live music. I think it's a waste of time.
Whoa. Okay. Easy. Let's move on. Now, this is the kids love it. This there's no other way to say it. It's a bit of a salacious question.
Oh boy.
What turns you on and what turns you off?
Who wants to go first?
Dimitri, it sounds like you do.
Okay. What turns me on? What turns
And
me
look,
off?
we're not going to get graphic here.
No,
This
we
isn't gonna-
could.
Oh, well, all right. Yeah, you're right. We could. You're right.
We could. What turns me on? What turns me off? Okay, what turns me off? I think bad breath. I think somebody who like spits, somebody who's mean to service, people who make fun of other people who call things like, "Oh, that's stupid," and you're like, "What?" I just think people are like bad manners, but also
Okay.
people who smell. That
All
turns me off. I think people who are phony really turn me off. Like really turn me off.
This is a hell of a list.
Yeah. People who are phony really turn me off. People who you could tell are putting on a show and you're just like, just be yourself. Own that
Okay.
bad breath.
All right. All right. So you're saying that if someone has bad breath and they try to hide it, you think that's a turnoff and you want for them to own it, even though you don't like it.
I think something charming and endearing if somebody go, "Hey, my breath smells like shit. I apologize." I would be like, "That's really funny. Thanks for just admitting that."
All right. What turns you on?
Ooh, somebody who's detail oriented. Puts devil of the details. Somebody goes, "I bought these like real nice candles for our date tonight, because I knew that you mentioned one time that you love the smell of a lighthouse." And I was like, "Whoa, you remembered the details." I love somebody with a great memory. That turns me on, James.
Okay. Well, that was
And nudity. Nudity
public
turns
or
me
private.
on.
Public or private?
Public or private nudity?
Yeah.
Public.
All right.
Because they're owning it and they're very much themselves.
All right. Marilyn,
Nothing phony about showing your junk off.
All right.
in a
Okay.
movie
Dimitri,
theater.
yeah, I just received a production note. Your time is up. Marilyn, what turns you on and what turns you off?
Food turns me on. So food related like gifts and moments and exchanges, and shag. I like shag.
Now, when you say shag, you mean like shag carpeting or like in Austin
Yes,
Powers
but
when he's
when,
like, I want
also
to
when it
shag you,
comes
baby.
also when it comes on body, shag carpeting, but also on bodies.
You mean like a hairy body?
Yeah.
I
But
love it.
mostly like a chest.
Dimitri's getting worked
Okay.
up over there. Dimitri, can I just add a curiosity? What's the name of that audio clip? Is it Throb?
No, it's called Riz sound.
All right.
It should be called shag.
Well, now, Marilyn, what turns you off?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a list like right at the ready right now that I can just think of.
Because I mean, look, the easy thing, so rude people. But I think
Yeah.
in the way that we found nuance in the turn-ons, there's got to be a bit of nuance in the turn-offs.
Yeah. I really just people that are maybe like, yeah, not really don't care or forgetful or just yeah, that's what I can come up with right now.
Got it. Okay. Annabelle, let's go to you. Turn-ons and turn-offs. What are you starting with?
Well, I like a good shag.
Mamma mia. Now, when
I
you
had to
talk
say
about
it.
shag, are you talking about the rug, the body hair, or as in Austin Powers, do you want a shag, baby?
I would say Austin Powers.
Whoa!
What?
You know what? I'm using my beef of the night.
Whoa!
I'm using my beef of the night on shagging.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money,
Dollar, dollar. Dollar.
Using my beef of the night. It's two in your face.
Okay.
Shagging is a turnoff. Two in your face. Too obvious.
All right. Okay. I have something.
Yeah.
I have something else. Okay. When I've been on the apps, and it's not been often, but when I go
what
on
apps
the
you
apps,
talking about? Instagram,
like dating
Facebook
apps?
Messenger.
What are you
Dating
talking
Okay.
about? Uber Eats?
dating apps.
Yeah, you talking about Cardigo?
The dating apps.
Yeah.
Whenever I see a guy with a dog, I'm like, no.
Oh,
Hard no.
Why?
I don't know. I'm like, ugh, no.
But I want to say your cat turns me on. Like he's he's got a very defined little white shag, and he's right there, and I love his face.
Now,
He's a
Annabelle,
jerk,
this
though.
might appeal to you. Coming in from the chat, our friend Jay Voorhees88 writes, "Hi, Annabelle. I have a dog. I hate him."
Well.
Yeah, what if they have a dog but they hate the dog?
Yeah. What if they have a dog and their bio says dog owner, but I hate it?
Yeah. Yeah, what if?
I don't think I would have gotten that far because as soon as I see the photo of the dog, I swipe whatever it is, left or right, whatever.
All right.
What?
Okay. These are some incredible answers.
And you, James.
Oh,
You thought you were gonna get away with it? Come on, James.
I'll say turn on. A good laugh, good laugher. Like a good laugher. Turn off a try hard.
Yeah.
Feel like they try too hard. It's like, taking it easy is the way to be.
So what does that look like in women? Trying too hard.
Too hard. I mean, but I would say that I dislike this equally as personality, and whether it's women or men, like where it's just like, I'm the center of attention, everyone. Oh, did you hear that thing that I just said?
Look,
or like,
everybody, I shit my pants. Look
yeah.
at me.
I was supposed to be in the booth tonight, but I crapped myself.
Yeah. Hey, look, everybody. I'm busy.
Yeah.
I got kids.
Well, yeah, on that fecal note, let's move on to the next one. What's the best cereal?
It's the best cereal. I've got a pretty contentious pick here. I'll be honest.
Okay.
It's very specific. I'm going to tell you what it goes into, but I'm going to tell you what the brand is just straight up. It's Frosted Flakes.
Ugh.
And it goes into a mug. I eat it out of a mug. And I'll tell you why.
I get the mug.
I'll tell you why, guys. Because when it's too submerged in the liquid, in the milk, it all gets soggy and disgusting. If it stays in the mug, there's a nice combination of crispiness versus sogginess. When I'm getting a bite, I'm getting at least 25 to 35% of crispy versus the rest soggy.
But hold on here. Any cereal that stays submerged long enough gets soft and mushy.
But I'll say that there's something about just the edges of the Frosted Flake, and that it's just kind of like a crispy, chippy type of thing rather than a Cheerio or something else. That's the reason why I'd like a little bit of softness versus crispiness in every bite.
Okay.
I got a beef.
Oh,
no
I
way,
love
man.
it.
Whoa!
No way. You're not really eating cereal if you're just sort of wetting it with milk.
Wait, hold on, Dimitri. I believe you have to play the clip.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
That's not cereal eating.
Dollar.
Go ahead, Annabelle.
No, you can't. That is not a real answer because you're not really eating cereal if you're just wetting it lightly with milk.
No, it's wet. I'm saying because it's in a mug.
I'm about to say something that's very controversial here. I need to use the washroom really bad. So, Dimitri, I've sent you the list.
You're pulling a Dave on us.
This is the first time ever in... It's only fair to say that the switch to Twitch has a shocking moment where it's the first time ever I've had to leave. Dimitri, I've sent you the list of topics. Pick as you wish. Let's continue with best cereal.
All right, yeah. So you don't believe in the cereal? You don't believe in my pick?
I get in the mug, but you're saying that you're just lightly a little bit of milk. No.
I'm saying that because if it's there's more surface area, it's going to be more submerged. Because it's in here, it's only going to fill up to about here, Annabelle. Do you know what I'm talking about? This is still going to be crispy. This is submerged. So when I go and dig in, I'm getting soft and I'm getting crispy. Instead of it's in a bowl, it's all under the surface of the liquid. Do you understand what I mean? You want to retract your beef?
Maybe. We'll see.
That's what I thought.
We'll see.
All right. Well, what's your favorite cereal, everybody? Now that James is not here.
Mine's Corn Pops.
I haven't had that in a long time. I was gonna say Sugar Crisps, but I like the more healthy version, like less sugary. But the one thing is, I really do not eat cereal except if it's with ice cream. That's the only way I'll eat cereal with ice cream, like as a treat. Like I do not have that for breakfast anymore.
Yeah, I don't have cereal for breakfast, but I like it as a treat, like
I like it
a
as a
late
treat.
night snack.
Yeah. That's a peak 6 to 7, or not 6. I would say 8 to 9 treat.
Yeah,
That's
for
a
sure.
peak 8 to 9.
That's a good call. And like, I've actually looked. Corn Pops actually has a very. It doesn't actually have as much sugar as you think it does, compared to things like Cheerios, and it's kind of equal.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've exhausted that one. Let's see. Let's move on to what's something you are terrible at that you wish you could do well. Something that you're terrible at, but you wish that you could do it well. Marilyn, let's start with you.
For me, it's drawing.
Drawing.
I feel it's a skill that I should. I don't know. I really admire people who can draw well and like quickly and who can do a sketch and stuff like that. And I really am not that good at that.
Drawing, eh? And why would you want to draw? Would you like to draw people on the metro? Like when you see people on the metro, you want to do a little like doodle of them?
Yeah, maybe. I admire that, but I just find it's practical sometimes, like to doodle, to like maybe, to entertain like kids, to make a little presents for people, a little drawing. Like, I don't know. I just find it's a nice skill to have.
Become a police sketch artist and solve crime?
Oh, wow. Well, that is a whole other level, but that would be nice.
Yeah, I'm bad at drawing, and I would be good at it, but that's not my pick. But let's go over to you, Annabelle.
Oh, I had one a second ago.
Something that you're shit at.
I've always wanted, and I've had dreams about this. I've always wanted to be able to do the split. I can't do it. Like that flexibility. And I used to dance and ballet, and just always wished I could do that.
Yeah,
I can't.
yeah, I feel that. I've never been able to touch my toes.
And
I wish I could, but I'm actively working on that now. I might get there. Why would you want to do the splits? Do you think that like...
I don't know. I just like, it was such a goal for me when I was a dancer, and when my dance teacher, she's like, you're never going to be able to do it. You have a twist in your spine, so you can't.
I feel like that's
actually can't.
I feel like that's important for young women for some reason. Like they just like everybody's able to do it. You know what I mean? Like same with cartwheels. I feel like that's a real thing. I could never do a cartwheel
either.
And what did you get teased because of it? You know what I mean when I say like I feel like they were just like, look what I can do, and that's something that young girls were doing. They were doing cartwheels.
Yeah, I didn't get teased for it, but I always wanted to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Could you do a cartwheel?
No. I could roll forward. I could do a little like a forward roll, but I can't do that. Before I get to mine, Jay Voorhees says his thing that he's bad at that he'd like to get better at is living.
With or without his dog.
Yeah, I think it starts with getting rid of the dog, Jay Voorhees. My thing that I'm terrible at that I would legitimately like to be better at is singing. I wish I was a better singer because I one day dream of a scenario where people, when they look at me, don't think that I could sing, and I sing not just well but beautifully, and it shocks everybody to their core, and they just go, I had no idea. And I disappear into the night. And then people come up to me a week later and they go, hey, somebody told me that you sang opera and it was incredible. And I'll say, I have no idea what you're talking about. They're lying. And I disappear. So it's a bit of a fantasy, but I would like to be a better singer.
And like, would you go into a karaoke bar and like stun everyone, be one of those amazing singers at karaoke?
In my older age, I want to be an older. This is deviating a little bit, but I want to be the old man who does like of the what's his name from Life Aquatic, Steve Zissou. Wow,
what?
We all forgot that actor's name.
Oh, Bill Murray.
Thank you. Of the Bill Murray kind of ilk, and just wander into a place.
I was about to say Bill Murray on my journey back.
Bill Murray.
From one throne to another.
Yeah, welcome back. How was your diarrhea?
Well, I in addition to bestowing the title Diarrhea Dave onto our friend Dave Kaufman, I think you can start referring to me as Diarrheus McGeeus. My mic is hot.
Yeah, your mic is still hot. I've been telling this that you know something that James is terrible at that he can get better at? Realizing that he has dietary restrictions. and he doesn't want to admit it. I've known this guy. I've known you for a long time, James.
It's been a while, as
that
Aaron Lewis Sustained once said.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a long time, and I think I've told you for 5 years now that you might be, and I'm very positive, are lactose intolerant. But you
all I did was have a cream and a coffee today. I'm going to tell you what I think happened. I think I may have undercooked some chicken.
Have you ever been food poisoned before? I know you have.
Well, for sure.
You are physically you are distressed. You have fever. You are puking.
Yeah.
Dietary restriction issues, belly issues. If you're you've got lactose or whatever, it's what you just had, my friend. This is an intervention show now.
Maybe it's IBS. Maybe I have IBS.
It could be that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be that. Okay, so we're currently discussing things that you're bad at that you wish you were better at.
Yes.
Dimitri, I believe I came back to you saying you wish you could be a good singer.
I wish I was a good singer. And Annabelle asked me, would you pop into a karaoke club and sing? I said yes. I would love to do that. In my older age, I'd love to be able to go do that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I want to jump in one. Let's see how many of these we can rattle off as the show starts to wind down. This is another salacious one.
Ooh.
Is it a good idea to threesome with two friends? Annabelle, you say no. We're just going to, I want to get the initial answers. Dimitri, what do you say? Is it a good idea? Because I say no.
I don't know. Let me call them.
All right. Marilyn, is it a good idea?
I'd like to say yes, on paper, but obviously it's no. I'd like to believe that, having a fun time with your friends, sexually, but it's a no. It's a no. It for sure.
Yeah, shagging.
Yeah, shagging, some shaggy friends.
Doing an escape room together is one thing.
Yeah.
Well, now, the thing that I was curious about is, because it wasn't specified, are you the third and your friends are a couple, or are you three single friends?
It depends on the context.
All of that just seems like a bad idea. I think the moment that you cross that line with friends, it gets weird.
Yeah, I can safely say that I've never made a wrong decision intimately with a friend. I've never come close to allowing myself to even approach the line, just because I know how quickly things can change.
Wow, James.
I mean, I got written about
like that
in the New Yorker because I kissed somebody and then said it was a mistake. And
there was an article about it in the New Yorker?
Yes.
Well, you have officially found the premise of your next appearance on this show. So we all agree. Dimitri, that's not true. You haven't chimed in yet. Is it a good idea?
Look, we're on the air and this is recorded. So I'm going to say it depends.
On what?
It depends on the context, son of a bitch. It depends on
what. Okay, so provide us with a context in which it is a good idea.
When you're younger, and when you're older, it's a bad idea. When you're younger and people don't have kids and a family, then it's a bad idea.
Wait, so in the bad version of the premise, you're having a threesome with people that have kids and a family?
Older folks, in their 30s and ups, basically. They've got a life, they've got
So
stuff
you don't
together.
think people that have kids should have threesomes with their friends? Because there's too much to lose?
Too much to lose. Way too much. And then the kids wake up in the middle of the night and there's some guy eating bologna out of the fridge.
Well, I'm glad it's out of the fridge. I'm glad it's out of the fridge.
They're eating this. They say, "Who's this guy?" And he said, "I'm a friend of your dad's."
Oh, it's my friend.
I'm a friend of your dad's.
Well, Annabelle, let's go to you. As someone who has kids, would it be a worse idea with kids or a better idea in your younger years? You're the only one that can speak to this.
No. I think, first of all, it's a bad idea with friends, no matter what the age is. But I would say if you get older and say your kids move out, maybe you've just been through so much at that point.
It's going to get freaky. It's going to get freaky.
No.
Older people in their 50s and in their 60s are like, now.
I think the only time it would be truly acceptable is friends from the old folks' home.
Oh.
Because really, at this point,
They've got nothing left.
You're bored. You're bored. You might not remember it.
You might die.
And you might die, and whatever you get, like whatever.
You're 55. You just bought a jacuzzi. You're the only one with one in the neighborhood.
Yeah, you invite a couple of your friends over.
That's not old enough.
I'm just saying, stuff happens when you buy a jacuzzi.
You want to have one final freaky time before you get liquid.
Cremated.
Yeah.
Turn to lube.
Oh yeah, I looked at the name for it earlier. I forget. It's called liquid cremation. It's called aquamation.
Aquamation. All right.
Oh, you do get turned into lube.
Lubrification.
Well, Dimitri, it sounds like you're the only one who says that it depends. So we're gonna keep moving on. This is also an interesting
nuns
one.
In here.
Oh, easy. There's kids watching tonight. Oh, the kids agree. Now, this is a very intriguing one. What do you think people think when they make eye contact with you in the metro? So what do you think they think when you're looking at each other? You catch each other's gaze.
That's a good question. It's a good question. I like that question.
Mine might be like, oh, this guy looks really bothered.
Is that the James with just the mustache or also with the beard? Same thing?
Well, I haven't had the mustache long enough to really get a sense of what people think of my resting face, but I think, I've heard enough to know that people think my resting face is generally that of one that looks unenthused, unimpressed, uninviting. I think I look very, very, very pleasant.
I like the mustache.
Well, trust me, there's a mustache question later on, so we'll save the mustache talk for then. That's what I think when people look at me like, oh, this guy looks irritated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess what I think people think when they look at me is like, ooh, this guy is maybe busy, because I'm always on the phone, I'm always doing a text, I'm always like going through something, and then I'm like, I very rarely have my phone in my pocket and I'm just looking aimlessly out the metro. I'm always like fiddling with something. So maybe they look at me and they just go, fuck, this guy's like a businessman or doing something. I don't know.
Okay. Marilyn, what about you? When
I'm really the opposite. I think I might be that. I contemplate on the metro, I people watch. So I don't know though, but I probably don't have like a super inviting face. I think I'm very neutral, and but so I can't tell, but I'm curious, I guess so yeah, if people look at me, maybe they'll see me watching all over the place, or I don't know, making stories in my head.
How about you, Annabelle? What do you think people think?
I'm similar to Marilyn. I think a lot of people are on their phones and books, so they aren't really looking around. I often just do. I don't catch people's eyes very often, so when I do, I look away pretty quickly, and we all do the same thing. We look back to see if they're still looking at us. It's uncomfortable. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and there's been uncomfortable situations in the past. But
now, has anyone caught your eyes and they begin talking to you on the metro?
Yeah, that's happened once. And I can count on one hand how many times that has happened, where somebody struck up a conversation with me. But I know that one of the 3 times this guy came up to me and he goes, "Hey, your glasses are amazing." It's back when I wore glasses. And I was like, "Oh, thanks so much. I appreciate that." He's like, "Where'd you get them?" And I told him, and he's just like, "They're really cool. The design is really awesome." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. What do you think of Montreal? Have you lived here your whole life?" And we just started talking. And then at the end, I was like, "Oh, this is just a genuinely nice guy." And then he goes, "Hey, have you ever heard of this guy called Jesus Christ?" And then I immediately just tuned out.
I want you to have a threesome with me and Jesus.
and I said,
friends, right?
Yeah, and I was gonna say, oh yeah, we got to be friends first.
Yeah.
But that happened. Yeah, that happened. That was one of the very few times a real conversation broke out on the metro.
Annabelle, anyone look at you, you look at them, and then they walk over. Hey, I couldn't help but notice.
I had a woman look at me through a different car, came into the car. I think I've said this story before, and
You
then she
told me
attached.
this story privately. This is an incredible story.
Well, I was pregnant too at the time, and I was just coming back from Ottawa. I had been on the Greyhound bus, and so I was tired. And then I saw her, and she looked at me, and I was like, "Oh no!" And I just looked away. And then the next thing I know, there was a stop, and then she was sitting across from me, and she started spraying me with room spray and saying stuff in a language I did not understand. It sounded almost sort of like voodoo language, and she started like spraying me like I was the devil and yelling at me. And there were so many people in the car, and nobody did anything, and I just stood there being
The
sprayed by
bystander
grapefruit room
effect.
spray.
What did
Yeah,
she
nobody
sprayed you
did
with
anything.
what? With broom spray?
Yeah.
Grapefruit,
No, yeah,
grapefruit
like air
scented room
freshener.
spray.
Oh.
Yeah.
You were pregnant and showing, like, yeah.
I
So
don't know. Like I felt like I was, but I was in a winter coat, so who knows?
okay.
But I just felt very sorry for walked home.
Now, coming in from the chat, Jay Voorhees writes, Ottawa sucks, then follows it up with voodoo language.
Yeah, I want you to define what that means, Annabelle, because
I want you to impersonate it.
No.
Let's go to Marilyn. Marilyn, any Metro interactions?
No, not that I can remember.
I had a woman a few years ago, quite drunk, get on the Metro at Mont Royal. I was leaving the Mile End, and she's like, "Oh, am I going the right direction?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know which direction are you going?" And then I affirmed that she was, and said that she was fairly new to Montreal, and she was originally from the Outaouais region, which, of course, is very close to Ottawa. And then I can't remember how, but she started talking about how she used to go watch wrestling in Ottawa. I was like, "Oh, yeah, where?" And she goes, "Oh, it was in this place called Vanier." And I was like, "Yeah, you probably saw me there." And she's like squinting in, and then I give her my wrestling name. She's like, "What? What? Oh my God." And then she started telling me how she was sexually attracted to some of my wrestler friends.
Wow. What an experience.
And coming in from the chat, Jay Voorhees, was she speaking voodoo
language?
No, she was speaking English.
Yeah, I got a beef of the night.
Oh.
Oh.
Annabelle's mild racism.
Hit it.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Dollar.
Annabelle, how do you respond to that?
Fair.
Well, we'll leave it at that.
That's what accountability looks like. Well, we better. Oh, there we go. The kids love it. We better move on. I think we've got time for one more, and it goes to what we were chatting about earlier. I received 2 of these, and I blended them into one. James is a whole new person.
Oh yeah.
Has the mustache made James start juicing, which is code for using steroids? Now, I can confirm that I'm not using steroids. I also don't think I'm a new person. I think I'm the same old James.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're the same old James. I will say, though,
Yeah,
that this mustache saga has been amazing. And I'll say why. Because you have garnered such an identity and image that the moment you changed
anything
about yourself,
slightly, even
a little bit, the son of a bitch could have had an inch on his sideburns, and we would have still had the same reaction as you did. But my issue is with the reaction. The slightest change to your image, James, has created a chain reaction among people that, in my opinion, is insane. And I can't understand how you have survived it this long. I would have been absolutely flabbergasted and exhausted by it. By how many people?
Yeah.
How many people have come up to you to say, "Whoa, what's going on?"
Yeah, I mean, it's a big change. It's a big change when people know you in a certain context for 5+ years.
You just don't change, James. You don't. You have
Yeah,
your
that
things,
is. Yeah.
and when you do, I think people had a real strong reaction to it, and I don't get it. You should be
Yeah.
allowed to change.
I will say this. We were a few of us were in a show the other night. It was a sketch show at Theater VME at Variations Mile End, and I was frankly surprised more people weren't commenting on the fact that when we were all backstage, I wasn't wearing a hat.
See, normal.
Yeah.
Well, the other night when we were out after a show, you had a different hat on, different glasses, and it was kind of like, well, it's overload.
And I'm going to tell you this: I made it a point not to wear that hat. I've been wearing it for weeks because the clip on this one is broken, and I taped it together for tonight.
See, James, like, you should be allowed to change without 100 people coming at you for it with pitchforks. I will say though, you have been looking a little bit meatier.
You think meatier because I have a mustache?
No, because maybe there's been some substance abuse.
I've been using performance-enhancing drugs.
I'm just saying that you've been looking a little thicker. All right, my friend?
It's just because there's more flesh showing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a slippery slope, brother.
Well, yeah, I assure you I'm not using steroids. If I did, I'd have to return them because they're not working.
I don't know. Check your pants.
All right. Well, that feels like a good place to end unless anyone else wants to keep talking about my mustache.
No. Coolest rocker of all time.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's. Yeah. There's also. Yeah. Dimitri's got the list.
Hold on. That's not the one I want to end on.
I really like that one.
All right. I was gonna say design James's perfect house, wedding, and death.
All right. Yeah. We'll add some time to this. Yeah. Design my perfect
wedding. Let's do just wedding.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just. I'm just gonna sit back and listen to you guys.
What's James's perfect wedding? As the time runs out here, this is our last question of the evening. I think it's a fun one. What's James's favorite wedding? What do you think is ideal perfect wedding? And I'm going to throw to Annabelle first because Annabelle, you have a lot of experience with weddings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm going to say how accurate this answer is going to be.
Yeah.
Well, the venue and food are going to be very important, and so, oh God. Where though? Where?
And I mean, is this a serious wedding? Because I feel there could be two sides to it. There could be like something really like wholesome, but at the same time, I'm thinking maybe not. Like, make it fun, make it a themed wedding. But then I don't know. I don't know that you'd really like. I mean, I think you'd be into it, but I don't know that. Yeah, like I don't know if
it has to be small.
If you're serious about it, would you be very serious about your wedding? Like,
yeah, that's a good question. I don't think I'd be particularly serious. I mean, in that I would take it seriously, but it wouldn't feel serious.
Okay, infinite budget. Here we go. Center ice at the Bell Center. It's a small affair. A couple of friends and family, and the pastor is Carey Price, and he does the sermon. And then there's
There's a sermon at my wedding?
Yeah, but it's all the greatest sports moments in Montreal sports history.
Yeah, coming in from the chat, Jay Voorhees writes, I think the service should be in voodoo language.
Yeah, the service is in voodoo language, done by Annabelle Agnew. And then, this is the best part, at 12 o'clock, Montreal Pool Room caters the event.
AM or PM?
AM. AM.
So it's a midnight wedding?
Yeah. No, if this is a James wedding, it starts at 2 o'clock and it ends at 3:30.
And it's in the fall. It's definitely in the fall.
Yeah. I would say Annabelle has given the most accurate assessments.
Okay.
It would be in
I
the fall.
I think like a Sugar Shack theme, like with like maybe outside, the pictures with the horse carriage and really like warm colors. Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, Marilyn's correct. It would probably feel like a little rustic. Maybe like you'd have to drive into like the country. It wouldn't be. Yeah,
Destination wedding.
it would probably would not be had the destination. That'd be a 45-minute drive north.
Yeah,
It'd probably
like,
be in some place like
Mont-Saint-Hilaire, la cabane au Mont-Saint-Hilaire.
yeah, probably
Trois-Rivières.
one of those places where it's very wood like in terms of the aesthetic, and then you could go outside and there's like hanging fairy lights above like yeah, that's what it would look like. Yeah.
Okay, it's an old
No, at the
bar.
very end of the night, there'd be a hot tub, right?
Well, hot tub. Yeah, that's
With
yeah.
a hot
Then I
dog
invite a
sandwich.
couple friends to have a threesome.
Yeah.
Give a threesome
Yeah.
at your wedding.
Yeah, I'm like,
And there's-
sorry, babe,
yeah.
I gotta go have this. I gotta go shag.
The perfect
Yeah,
wedding.
shag.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's nice, James. I hope that happens for
I
you.
like it.
Well, I'm not putting a lot of thought to it.
Oh, that's too bad because someone out there is.
Yeah, who's that?
I'll tell you who it isn't. Diarrhea Dave.
Yeah, well, maybe me and Dave should get married because we've got a lot in common tonight. Let's wrap this sucker up. That's the end of the show. Annabelle, final thoughts tonight as we conclude Mailbag Monday Part 3.
No, I have
All
no final thoughts.
No is an answer. Dimitri, final thoughts?
You know, I came on this show as a savior, as a hero.
Yeah.
I leave an even greater hero.
All right, Marilyn, final thoughts?
Yes, I will succumb to Dimitri's ego boost and saying yes. It wouldn't have been fun without him.
Yeah, I do agree with that. It would not have been fun without him. If Dave was here, it just wouldn't have been fun.
Period.
Folks, that's the end of it for Dimitri, for Marilyn, for Annabelle. I am James. You are you. We were here. Good night, goodbye, farewell, and of course, be well.